Welcome to the War's Claw channel. Today we have a topic to discuss about USAF tanker and airliner nearly triggers disaster near Venezuela. Don't miss the chance to join us and share your opinions with us, subscribing and liking to grow our community. Become a member of our channel and evolve your rank. A routine commercial flight nearly turned into a disaster over Caribbean airspace when a JetBlue aircraft came dangerously close to colliding with a U.S. Air Force tanker shortly after takeoff. The near miss unfolded as the airliner was climbing toward its cruising altitude, exposing the growing risks faced by civilian aviation in regions where military operations are increasingly active. The incident took place on December 12, 2025, involving JetBlue Flight B6-1112, an Airbus A320 traveling from Curaçao to New York's John F. Kennedy International Airport. As the aircraft ascended, it encountered a USAF KC-135 stratotanker crossing at the same flight level. With little warning, the JetBlue crew visually identified the military aircraft directly ahead and was forced to halt the climb to avoid a collision. Reports indicate the tanker's transponder was not transmitting, preventing the A320's onboard collision avoidance systems from detecting the threat in time. The seriousness of the situation was underscored in cockpit communications with air traffic control, where the JetBlue pilot stated that the aircraft had almost had a mid-air collision. In mixed-use airspace, transponders are critical for maintaining safe separation, particularly in oceanic regions where radar coverage is limited and pilots cannot rely solely on visual cues. When identification systems are disabled, both civilian and military crews are left operating with reduced situational awareness, sharply increasing the risk of catastrophic error. This near accident occurred against the backdrop of a sharp rise in U.S. military activity across the Caribbean, driven by counter-narcotics missions and heightened political tensions with Venezuela. In the weeks leading up to the incident, Washington expanded its regional presence with additional naval and air assets, including carrier strike groups, surveillance platforms, and aerial refueling aircraft. As operations intensified, managing shared airspace became significantly more complex. Regulators had already flagged these risks. Days earlier, the Federal Aviation Administration warned airlines and pilots of a potentially dangerous situation tied to increased military operations near Venezuelan airspace. While commercial flights were not restricted, the advisory called for elevated caution in affected corridors. The warning followed public remarks in late November 2025 by former President Donald Trump, who declared on social media that airspace above and around Venezuela should be considered closed, statements that carry no legal authority under international aviation law, but added to the atmosphere of uncertainty. Despite the severity of the encounter, the JetBlue flight continued to New York and landed safely, with no injuries or damage. Nevertheless, the incident triggered concern across the aviation community, renewing scrutiny of how military aircraft operate near heavily trafficked civilian routes. U.S. authorities confirmed that the FAA, working alongside the Department of Defense, is reviewing the event with particular attention to communication procedures, electronic identification, and airspace separation standards. For commercial aviation, the episode reinforces long-standing fears about the overlap of civilian travel and military missions in politically sensitive regions. Similar near misses have been documented in areas such as the Black Sea and the Middle East, where limited coordination and restricted use of identification systems have raised collision risks. In the Caribbean, long regarded as a relatively safe operating environment, the JetBlue incident signals a shift toward a more complex and potentially hazardous airspace reality. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and share it with your friends. Your interactions mean a lot to us and help us grow. See you next time.